War Update InfoPod. Is regime change in Iran looking less likely 5 days into the war? Good afternoon. You're listening to the War Update InfoPod, keeping up with today's developments. 5 days into the conflict, one of the early expectations in some political circles was that heavy strikes on Iran might trigger a popular uprising or even regime collapse. So far, most analysts say that outcome appears less likely in the short term. Inside Iran, the state's core security institutions remain intact. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the military force tasked with protecting the regime, has reportedly taken a stronger leadership role during the war and tightened internal control. That matters because revolutions usually require a split in the security forces. If the military and internal security services stay loyal to the leadership, protests alone rarely bring down a government. There are also practical barriers to mass revolt during wartime. Iran has imposed communication restrictions and internet shutdowns, which experts say can make it harder for citizens to coordinate demonstrations or share information. Another factor is the nature of the Iranian opposition. While there have been large protests in recent months, opposition groups inside and outside the country remain fragmented and do not have a unified leadership structure capable of quickly taking power. Many conflict analysts therefore say that airstrikes alone rarely produce regime change. Bombing campaigns may weaken military infrastructure, but they do not usually create the political conditions needed for a sudden popular revolution. That does not mean internal pressure has disappeared. Iran has experienced major protest movements in recent years, and the current conflict could still deepen economic and political strain inside the country. But 5 days into the war, the early signals suggest something different from a rapid collapse. Instead of immediate revolt, the more likely short-term effect appears to be greater consolidation of power by Iran's security establishment. Whether that holds over weeks or months will depend on several factors, including economic disruption, military losses, and whether protests inside the country can re-emerge despite wartime controls. That's the situation for now. You're up to date, and we'll watch what changes next.